Hi guys. I would like to share our wonderful friend Zee Pruk's interview on the famous magazine GQ Thailand. Sorry if the image and translation are not to your liking. The reporter asked, and at that time you also had your own solo concert. How did you prepare for that? Zee Pruk said, oh wow, it was really stressful because it was the first concert of my life. I never considered myself particularly good at singing or dancing. But once I got the opportunity, I had to practice to be the best I could. It was a time that required a lot of endurance. Because I had to practice singing, dancing, and self-discipline every day. For the concert ZeeNunew in the party, I was very involved. I got to choose the songs myself and design the show. The most important reason this concert happened was because I wanted to give something back to the fans who have always supported me. After this concert, I felt that I had crossed some limits. It was a really great experience. I will never forget it. During the practice, singing hard, some nights I even talked or sang in my sleep. I'd wake up the next morning, still half asleep and singing because I had to listen and practice a lot. But in the end, it was another memory that made me so happy, sometimes to the point where it even brought tears to my eyes. The reporter asked, that shows you've gone through a lot of training and challenges. Zee Pruk said, it's very difficult. But what I want to tell everyone is, don't let difficulty become a wall that blocks you. I've also had moments where I questioned myself, can I really do this? But in the end, we have to believe that we can do it. When I was doing the concert, I set my mindset like this stage will represent who I am, I won't try to be like anyone else. If something goes wrong, then let it go wrong. But I'll enjoy it to the fullest and smile to the fullest. I don't want to stress or put too much pressure on myself because, in the end, I'm only human. Even now, when I go to events, I still get nervous. If you ask if I'm stressed, yes I am, of course. But I think it's a challenge. If one day we don't feel anything, don't feel pressured, don't feel nervous, then maybe there's nothing left to push us to grow. Whether it's acting, singing, or having to work with new people. Everything is a challenge that we have to flow with. The reporter asked, do you have any method to balance your work life, personal time, and health? Zee Pruk said, to be honest, I don't really laughs. It used to be much harder. In the beginning when I entered the industry, it felt like stepping into a whole new world. Everything happened so fast that I didn't have time to think about work-life balance. But after working for a while, I started to fear burnout, so I had to try to reorganize my life to find a point where I could handle it, what was necessary and what was not. But in the end, it just became a habit. I work every day, and rest comes in short intervals, because everyone's rhythm of life is different. When opportunities come flooding in, I have to take them and do my best, because nothing lasts forever. There were times when I took on so much work that the quality of my work somewhat dropped. But I have to understand that this is the nature of working in the industry. I devote myself during the golden time and I have to find a way to get enough rest. I think that if someone spends too much time on work and has almost no personal life, it will gradually blur together until we finally feel that something is missing. The reporter asked, it means that rest is important. Zee Pruk said, it is very important, but it also depends on your heart. It is like when we are sick and the doctor says your recovery depends on your morale, which is true. Because if our heart isn't willing to fight, no matter how much we rest, we won't recover. Not every job is 100% something we love. Some jobs we might like 80–90%, but when we find a job that we like, we can really feel it that this is the right one. But we have to accept that jobs that we are not good at or do not like very much are part of the path that we have to learn. The reporter asked, in addition to physical strength, mental strength is also important. How do you take care of yourself? Zee Pruk said, I try to divide my time. Find something that makes me relax, such as going out, listening to music, watching movies, playing games, or hanging out with friends. Or if I don't have much time, I go home, take a refreshing shower, and then take a nap. I really like watching series, especially at night when I don't have much time to rest, but I still want to carve out that time to watch movies or play games, because it's a time when I feel like I'm really with myself. The reporter asked what about exercise and food? Zee Pruk said I exercise less these days because I feel older. Laughs. Actually, it's not like that. I think it's more about discipline. When you stop for a long time, it's hard to reconnect. As for food, I try to control it to a good level, avoiding greasy food, fried food, packaged snacks, which I don't actually eat anyway. I choose sugar-free sodas sometimes. I try not to be too strict with myself, but I also don't let myself go too much either. Going back to this moment and their spontaneous giggles at the exact same moment, they were cracking up at Zee Pruk cheeks wobbling after the kick. It's so cute how Nunew reassures Zee Pruk that he still looks adorable. ZeeNunew equals same wavelength dorks in love. Nunew said Emily is not a cold country, so my outfits may look thick, but each layer is thin, the fabric is a bit airy, and cool. I will only wear the cape for significant ceremonies. If I am not going to any ceremony, I will not wear it. Zee Pruk said I had the opportunity to talk to 2 scriptwriters and 1 assistant scriptwriter. They said that the important part in each series is that the casting of characters must be accurate in order to create believability and for the audience to be into the characters as much as possible. They're very attentive to this part. They cast the grandfather and father generation's actors to be powerful and influential even when they aren't on the screen altogether. And, for the series that features love lines, their chemistry must be compatible/attractive, otherwise, the audience won't be into them. They really paid special attention to the casting. That day, I respected them very much. They've done script writing for numerous series/movies. I had so much fun talking to them. I realize that the casts and chemistry are really important for a series, Zee Pruk said. Aside the actors/actresses cast into this series, I think that it is very worthwhile to watch this series. It's about the throne usurpation. Whether it is the cinematography, scores, songs or the actorc/actresses who join in this series, we aim to create realistic Emily. It is guaranteed to be fun. Not to mention its cinematography, the producer, Paoff, invested as if he didn't expect any profit. But we actually do. We've spent a lot of budget, almost 100 m to date. I assure you it'll be entertaining. Please support the next Prince series. I'd like the public to see what Thai people are capable of. It's a series that we'd like it to be part of Thailand's soft power at worldwide level. The male host asked do I have to interview both of them together this time. Female host asked actually, I was going to interview alone, but they requested to interview as a pair. The male host asked who requested it. Zee Pruk said it's me. I thought that if we interview as a pair, it's like passing both of us through to the second round. The host asked where are you from, Nunew? Nunew said I'm from Chiang Mai. The host asked huh? Nunew said really? I'm from the north too. The host asked what district? Nunew said Phra Pradang district. Zee Pruk said what's your name? Nunew said my name is Medua. Zee Pruk said I like this. No beating around the bush. Our company needs people who speak directly. I think I might be from a new generation. Nunew said but looking at your face, you seem like you're quite old. Zee Pruk said I've been making my face look older. The host asked so, you're both doing it? Zee Pruk said same doctor, ha.